What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. The New York Knicks, they fired their head coach, Tom Thibodeau. And honestly, I'm a little surprised, but I'm not shocked at it. And I think there's a few things that we can say about Tibbs as a coach that are all fair and accurate and are justified. I think the Knicks had a great season. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals when not a lot of people thought after the regular season they'd be able to get that far. They handle business against the Pistons. They pretty much wipe out the Celtics. And then obviously they play a hard 6 games against the Pacers. That could have gone any different way if they just were a little bit better than what they put out there, effort-wise and attention to detail. Now, with Tibbs getting fired, I think the thing with Tibbs is he raises your floor to where your team is going to be competitive and could be really good, but he's got that ceiling that he's not a championship head coach. For the main reason being he does not play enough guys throughout the regular season and into the playoffs. Into the playoffs, you can get away with playing, 7 guys. Playing 82 games before that, only playing 7 or 8 guys, you just run these dudes into the ground. They've effectively played, 15 more games minutes-wise than everybody else, is what it feels like. Because you see it to where, we had, Mikal Bridges playing 40-plus minutes, Brunson playing 35-plus minutes, Cat playing huge minutes, but they would do it every single game. And it's just by the time you get to the playoffs, sure, you have a really stacked, their starting 5 was stacked in terms of offensive firepower, but these dudes have no legs. They have no extra juice. And you go play a team like the Pacers. This is the perfect example, is being the Pacers. They're a team that's going to floor you 100% of the time. They're going to go full speed all game long. And if you ain't got the legs, you're going to get cooked playing against that. A lot of that comes down to rotations, management, minute management, load management. Not so much load management, but it's there to where, if your team can't survive an extra 5 minutes every game with Brunson resting, you have a bigger problem. So I think they actually found success when they started using more guys and just trying to give guys burn, giving other guys rest. You have fresh legs on the floor that are at least able to somewhat keep up with a team that is running 1,000 miles an hour anyway. They lost a lot of battles in that Pacers postseason conference finals just on effort. You get Pascal Siakam leaking out for transition layups off makes. Teams getting transition buckets off of makes is crazy. You score and they get transition on you is ridiculous. I think that's an effort thing, but I think it's also a coaching thing, because after the first one, somebody better be freaking getting back on defense. Multiple guys better be getting back on defense and not giving that up. Those are just coaching errors, mental errors, things that should be ingrained into your roster that we are not allowing, zero tolerance for. And they got picked apart on that. Their attention to detail is dog shit, to put it simply. They won a lot of games off of star power and playmaking from the stars. That's what they won a lot of games off. They didn't win a lot of games off of scheme or, just outworking the other teams. They didn't win a lot of games that way. They're a team that, I don't know how the roster construction works when you have Brunson and Cat, who are 2 net negatives defensively, and you can't hide. I heard it on whatchamacallit's podcast, KOT4Q. What's it called? It's not Through the Wire. It's what it used to be. Numbers on the Board. That's who it is. Basically, you can't hide Cat. He's a 7-footer. You can try to hide Brunson. He's smaller, and you can, the team's got to look for that matchup. Cat is standing. He stands out there. You have 2 guys you have to hide on defense. That's a very, very hard method to win from. You might be able to get away with it being a 2 guard and a power forward that aren't super good defensively. But when you have a point guard and a center that are poor defensively, and sure, I think with Brunson, the effort's there. He's just too damn small. You can't have those as the 2 main weaknesses, so I don't know if the roster construction is going to be good enough to ever win a championship. But I do think with a better coach who will lean into trusting more guys and, if they go into next season and they're playing 9 guys, I think that would be a positive step for them. Obviously, you're going to have Brunson, you're going to have Bridges, you're going to have OG, you're going to have Cat. You're going to have quite a few guys, quite a bit of talent on here. They need to work out around the edges and build up their depth. But ultimately, Tibbs just runs your best players into the ground. And by the time it comes for winning time, they have nothing left. So firing him made sense to me. I think it was a good decision. Now, who they backfill him with will ultimately tell the tale. Because if you fire him and bring on somebody worse, then this whole thing blows up in your face. So, sure, I understand the decision, and I'm kind of on board with it, because this is kind of a running theme with every Thibodeau team, is that you just run out of gas at the very end when you need it the most. It happened in Chicago, happened in Minnesota, happened in New York. What else can you really say about it, right? Like, all his teams were either banged up or ran out of gas at the end, and that's the one common denominator with everything he's done, is players just don't have it at the very end when they need it the most. So I don't know who they're going to backfill him with. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see which coaches they're interviewing and stuff like that. I do want to know what you guys think of firing him. Was it the right decision? And who do you want to see them go get? I'm sure Knicks fans have already started kind of mocking up head coaches to try to see who can come in and try to figure out this team and take them to the next level. But I do think that they had a good coach in Tibbs, but they need a great one. To win championships, you typically need like a really, really good to great coach. Good doesn't cut it. So, it'll be interesting to see, but I think the decision makes sense. I think it's justified. You can only do this so many times before like your players start to just absolutely break down, and then your investments are completely cooked. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in the offseason, getting a new head coach, filling out the roster. They 1 or 2 more rotation players. Getting minutes is definitely needed for them to survive. But it's a fair choice in my opinion. I'm cool with it. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. Please like the video. Appreciate you for watching. I'm done. Peace.